It is time to talk about some players the Detroit Lions could trade away to receive some draft capital. I always get asked this question, Mike, what are players the Lions currently have that we can get some assets for? And so I decided to look and do a little bit of research and give you some names and a couple of players the Lions could look to trade away to get some draft capital. As we know, our new general manager, Brad Holmes, he is one aggressive guy. He's already made one big-time trade. Can he do a little bit more trades to help us out and build for the future? Dan Campbell, he stated, this is a retooling. In my opinion, it's somewhat retooling rebuild mode, and we need to get draft picks so we can help this roster going forward in 2021 and beyond. Let's go ahead and start with Kerryon Johnson. The first player on my list is Kerryon Johnson here, and the reason why I feel like the Detroit Lions could trade him is the production for the Lions was a lackluster. I do feel like the Detroit Lions are going to utilize DeAndre Swift as more of the number one three-down running back. I think we're going to see him a lot. Kerryon Johnson production was extremely low in 2020. He has a cheap contract. Maybe another team would like to acquire a player still on a cheap contract. They could actually use the player more, and the Detroit Lions could get a late-round draft pick, maybe 6th or 7th round. Yes, I understand that's late round. We got this guy in the 2nd, but his production has fallen off. He's not well-rounded as initially got him after his injury, and it's important for the Detroit Lions to look towards the future. When we look at Kerryon Johnson's stats here, he only rushed 52 times for 181 yards, 3.5 average, and 2 touchdowns. That is not good enough for the Detroit Lions, and when we were watching him, there was even holes in space, and I felt like Kerryon Johnson was not doing enough with the opportunity he has. There was holes open. He missed them and or was tackled on the very first down. With the new way that we're going, I really think we need to get stronger at the running back position. We can look towards free agency, pick up a running back there. I think the time and era in Detroit is over for Kerryon Johnson. Why not just go ahead and trade him and potentially get a late round draft pick? Let me know. Would you trade Kerryon Johnson? It's simple. Just go to the comment section. I want to hear from the fan base. It's important to know what the fan base thinks because I'm just one person, and I enjoy reading everybody's comment. I may not respond to everybody, but trust me, I am reading it, and I want to get a feel for what the fan base thinks. Number 2 player the Detroit Lions should look to trade away is tight end Jesse James. He's not used enough. We brought him in here with a fairly high contract, and he is barely being used. We barely see him on the field. He's not catching enough. He's not getting open enough, and I feel the Detroit Lions could go a better option. Young, even Hunter Bryant probably could be used more. Maybe the Lions decide to take a flyer on another free agent. But if we traded Jesse James, it would save the Detroit Lions $2,144,000. That's a lot of money that we could help towards getting other players in free agency. Why move on from Jesse James? It's simple. He's not used enough. His cap does not produce the amount that we want him on the field, and we can receive a late round draft pick. Why not get more draft picks for somebody you're not going to use? We look at his production on the field, 14 receptions, 129 yards, 9.2 average with 2 touchdowns. That's not good enough. Right there, might as well just have Hunter Bryant, because this is definitely not doing with the contract that he's receiving. And I don't think it's going to get too much better. Yes, the quarterback was not looking at it enough, but at the same time, he wasn't getting enough separation. And to me, if you can get some sort of draft capital, that would be fantastic. It's always important to look towards the future. He's getting a little bit older. Yes, he's not long in the tooth like many other players, but at the same time, if you can get younger, i.e. Hunter Bryant or somebody else, it's important because the contract is cheaper for Hunter Bryant, and you're getting the same production. So why not get more draft picks? We need more capital. We only got 6 picks in the draft. Jesse James would be a player I definitely think Brad Holmes could go ahead and send him to. Hey, go ahead and trade him to the Los Angeles Rams. Set him back up with Matthew Stafford. That's fine with me, or another team like the Patriots who could use a tight end. Why not attempt to trade Justin Coleman? I think this would be a good trade. Look, we signed this guy to a big-time deal a couple years ago in free agency. We had high expectations for Justin Coleman, but he's not lived up to the position that we are paying him. You could get a late round draft pick, maybe a 5th round for Justin Coleman. And I think the biggest issue here is you could save $4.942 million by trading him. That would be great for the savings. As we know, right now we're over the cap, and that would save us some money. And we do have better options, younger players that's actually given the production that he gave. If we look at Justin Coleman's stats, he had 1 pass defense, 22 solo, 8 assisted, and 30 total tackles. Again, he was injured, so the stats are a little bit alike here, but when he was on the field, he was having issues. Look at Darryl Roberts. He was in his position because Justin Coleman was injured a lot, and he actually did fairly decent for that slot position. So why pay this guy this type of money that's receiving when the production is not there? He was injured also last year. Last thing we need is more injured players for the Detroit Lions. I think it's important that if we can cut the cap and we can get players instead of just releasing them, why not go ahead and get a draft pick for him? At least explore the option for trading Justin Coleman so we can help the Detroit Lions get better. Brad Holmes is good with late round draft picks. Get younger, help the team out, save some money, get some capital. Reply to my pinned comment. The pinned comment is this: who do you want to trade away? There could be other players on this list that I didn't mention, a Desmond Trufant so far, or another player. Let me know in the comment section. I want to know what players you think Brad Holmes could trade away and we get assets for. Hey, why not throw in there what you think you can get for the player as well? Last but certainly not least is Kenny Golladay. Now you say, Kenny Golladay is a free agent. You can't trade him away, but you can franchise tag him, then trade the player away. It's been done before, and I think if Kenny Golladay is unwilling to take a salary from the Detroit Lions, franchise tag him, send him to another team. I think you can get some high value for him, maybe a 2nd-round draft pick. Look, if he just goes in free agency and signs with another team, you're going to get a conditional 3rd-round pick, so why not tag him, send him to a team that he may want to go to, such as the New York Giants, and get draft capital back. Teams would be widely interested in him because he is a number 1 wide receiver, and the Lions can get value back for Kenny Golladay. Kenny Galladay's stats is 20 receptions, 338 yards, 16.9 yards reception, and 2 touchdowns. Yes, the stats are not blown away here, but we all know what happened to Kenny Golladay. He was injured, knocked out for the season. Kenny Golladay has great value for other teams. Kenny Golladay would be coveted by many teams because he has the wide range catching ability. He's very good. A lot of people think that he's a top 10 wide receiver. He's somewhere around there between 10 and 15. Kenny Golladay would be great with other teams. You could send him again to the New York Giants or the Miami Dolphins. They got draft capital, and that's something that we need, and we can turn around and build this team the correct way. Again, it's not that I don't like Kenny Golladay. He may not even want to be a Detroit Lion. That's the case. He may not want to sign a deal anyways. And or if you do sign Kenny Golladay, he may want a monster amount of money that we simply cannot afford. We cannot pay him Amari Cooper money. If we sign Kenny Golladay to Amari Cooper money, it would really hurt the team for the future, and I just don't think that would be a smart move to do. But if we go ahead and franchise tag him and send him away, hey, we're getting something back in return, and that would help the team out for the long run. For me personally, I think it's really important to look at all avenues to acquire talent. And talent that we have, if we can get rid of it and get something back, I think that's important. There's going to be a lot of cuts coming to the Lions, so why not attempt to trade these players or trade other players to help build for the future? It's really important to understand that you build a team through the draft. I cannot express that enough. This is something that the Lions have had issues year after year after year. We've attempted to build the Detroit Lions through free agency, and that does not work. Free agency is a good tool to utilize via depth or get someone you extremely covet, but to solely rely on that or rely on that more than the NFL draft is going to hurt your franchise. Brad Holmes is known for getting these late round draft picks, known for getting gems that could be quality starters for teams. So if we can relieve our caps issues with some of these players, relieve some of these players without just cutting them and get something in back from return, that makes this team better for the long run. I think we're going to see more players get traded. And I think that Brad Holmes is going to explore the avenue. Obviously, you need two partners or more parties to be involved to get to trade away a player. And so maybe some of these guys may not get traded away because other teams may not want them. But at least make the phone call. At least explore all options before just cutting a player. If we can get and acquire more draft picks for this draft, maybe get 8 or 9 draft picks, this team will be better in 2021, 2022, and beyond. If we can find starters, if we can find young players in this draft in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, that's vital towards the success of the Lions, and that is something I really want to see from our new general manager and Dan Campbell. Might as well give it a try. Just give it a try. There's other players that they could potentially look at. The issue, though, is value for cap. Some of these players that we sign, Halapoulivaati Vaitai, no team's going to take on, and our dead cap hit would crush us. Desmond Trufant, I'd love to trade him. The issue is production versus value, and I don't think another team is going to want to take him on. I think he's just going to have to be cut. Look at all options. Make the team better. I would like that. In the upcoming videos, we're going to be talking about a lot of NFL draft going forward, a lot of free agency. I think that I'm going to break down players that the Detroit Lions could trade for next. It's going to be great coming on my channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. And every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the One Pride Podcast, the live mailbag segment. If you got questions, I'll attempt to give you the answers the best that I can. It's fun, it's interactive, and if you want your voice heard, you simply jump on, send me a question, and we will answer live.